Welcome to 49ers Live. I'm Brian Professor B. Davis. Welcome to 49ers Live here on the campus of City College here in San Francisco. On the campus of City College on this Thursday afternoon, on the next to last day of October 30th, on the eve before Halloween. And we're here live at the studios here at the City College campus. We're going to get you ready for 49ers and New York Giants. We're going on a little bit early today because, of course, Thursday night football, normally we have our Thursday night football, or have our 49ers Live tonight after Thursday night football. But we're going to have something on our sister network later tonight, on Satellite Digital Media, the Tony Valio Giants press conference from earlier in the day. That's going to be on our sister network right after Thursday night football. We'll give you the recap of that. We'll give you the full podcast of that, or a recap of that interview, courtesy of the San Francisco Giants. So the Tony Vallejo introduction, the Giants special, will be later tonight. That will be right after Thursday night football. You can see it on our sister network, on the main flagship on Satellite Digital Media. So today we're going to start off with will be Robert Saleh and Klint Kubiak, the coordinator segment, and then we'll kick off with that, and then after that we'll have Mac Jones, and then our next segment we'll have a Niners Radio 49 flashback. Two games, the Niners and Giants rivalry, going to go back to 1981 from a Week 13 game when the Niners put the Giants, and then the NFC West was in stakes. And then we will also have in our Niners Radio flashback our brief highlight recap of the 49ers NFC divisional playoff against the New York Giants from January 3rd, 1982. And, the Niners and the New York Giants, that is another rivalry that has a lot of history, going back to the 80s. And you look back at that time between 1981 through 1990, each time when the two teams played in the playoffs, the winner of that Giants-Niners playoff game would go on to win the Super Bowl. So there's a lot of history of that, So we hope you enjoy that clip, those two segments. And then our final segment, Kendrick Bourne on confidence, staying true to himself with his haircut thing. This is from 49ers.com via 49ers Studios. We'll have that in our final segment for today. So we'll take this quick time out, and then it's going to be the coordinator segment coming up. Professor B here on the campus at City College of San Francisco. You're watching 49ers Live on Niners Radio 49.
Uh, you know what? He's coming out elite athlete. I mean, he's got great length, size, and speed. His short area quickness, his ability to rush the passer on the inside again as another interior pass rusher, adding more depth to that. So, he kind of fits in that role we have with similar to Michael outside, being able to kick inside to being a more of a speedy rusher, active body. So we're looking forward to getting him out there.
Is there a backstory why he fell out of Vrabel's rotation?
It's probably more of a question for them.
Well, the difference between Atlanta and Houston was obviously pretty stark. Is that, I mean, obviously, there's a lot that goes into it, I'm sure. Is that partially a function of just having youth, and there might be kind of very,
The roller coaster ride?
Thank you. I'm sure you have me.
No, it is. And there's stuff on my part where I look inward, and I could have been a heck of a lot better for them. You know, like I said, we're going to continue to push the envelope with regards to scheme to find the balance of what we're capable of, and so we can always play fast. And does that mean pull back, or is it things that are fixable, or was it things where they were overloaded? That's where I've got to look inward and try to figure out what those answers are, and make sure that they have just enough so teams can't just continually take haymakers at us, but also just not too much where we can't play as fast as possible.
When you said that coming out of that game Sunday, where do you start as you kind of present your plan to the players of what went wrong and what needs to be corrected? Well,
you go back to it's a fundamental league, you know, from a technique standpoint. One is always going to be communication and making sure that we're constantly talking and communicating and being loud. You know, I've always said that your confidence always projects in the volume of your voice, and if you're out there screaming and yelling your technique and your the checks and your assignments, and you're pretty confident about what your job is. But if you're out there quiet, you're probably really you might need to get in the book a little bit more. So, you know, so I'm constantly listening to our defense, and the louder it is, the more comfortable you are as a football coach, and the more you feel like you probably could nudge them and give them a little bit more. And the quieter you are, or the defense is, that's where you've got to ask yourself whether or not you're asking them to do too much. So, again, it starts with communication, and then from there it's your technique and fundamentals and making sure that we're on it with regard to our jobs.
Jackson Dart shown enough through these games where you maybe have to assign a linebacker or a safety on him to spy him?
You know, he is uber talented. I understand why Dayball went to the blue tent. I probably would have went too. I mean, kid's good, man. He's a really, really, really good kid. I think New York hit on this one big time. But he's dynamic. He's decisive. He's accurate. He's been a joy to watch over these. Just studying his tape over the last, he's been 5 starts now. So, and they're doing a really good job with him. You know, they're asking him. There's certain things they're asking of him, but they're doing a good job hiding it within their weekly game plans. And you know, I've always thought Dayball's done a really good job. Him and Kafka, and they put a lot of strain on defenses. And this kid he's going to be special.
What's it going to be like for you going back there?
Get some pizza, go to the visiting locker room, and hopefully have a good day.
Up and down, plays with great effort and impacts the game in a variety of ways. In coverage, it seems like he's getting picked on a little bit. How would you assess his progress in the first half of the season?
He's been good. You know, he's done some really, really good things, and then there's some things where it's him getting beat is not because he's not capable. It's more him learning, him getting reps, him having an understanding of what teams will do to try to leverage them, how they try to create, you know, the stems to create negative leverage wins and routes. And then again, it's the confidence to get lined up where you just get repetition over repetition, cleaning up his techniques, understanding what he can and can't do, you know, like the holding penalty or the PI or holding, whatever it was against the tight end. You know, he's up there trying to play hard, heavy press on a pretty big man. You know, it's just you know, understanding what you can and can't do versus different body types. So it's all learning for him. He's got elite work ethic, elite mindset. He's very smart. He's got tremendous athleticism, and he strains. I mean, he packs a punch. I mean, there was I don't know if you guys saw one. He came across the middle of the field on a run fit and just hit the shit out. Excuse my language. Hit the heck out of the running back. I mean, he knocks people back. I've got clips where he takes on pulling tackles and guards, and he knocks those guys back. So he's a relentless player. And long answer short, kid's going to be really good. He just needs reps.
Robert, it seemed like in this game against Houston, almost like the rush plan and the coverage plan didn't align. There's just a lot of room there. When you watched it again, what did you think of the coverage there?
Yeah, I could have been a lot better for our guys. Looking back at our third down package, and I'm not going to talk about what I was what wanted to get done as a staff, but not proud of that one. Could have been better for our guys.
You'll get some guys, injured guys back. But how would you assess where the pass rush is right now? And do you envision maybe potentially adding more beyond Keon in that?
You know, it'll be good to see what Keon's got. You know, Huff will be back next week. Yetur's back. Samo's been providing some help. Has been providing some production for us also. Alfred's been surging. Michael's continuing to get better. So again, it's a young group that's continuing to evolve and get better. The adding part, that's more for John and Kyle to answer. But you know, I'll never say no. If you're listening, John. Hopefully, he's trending in the right direction. But you know, so we'll continue, and then from a coaching standpoint, we've got to do a great job just trying to find one-on-ones for those guys. You know, where we can work half a man and we have leverage it. You know, like I've said before, the ultimate goal of a coach obviously is always a free runner. But the next best thing is a one-on-one with proper leverage, and we're going to do our best to put them in those leverages and see where it goes from there.
Halfway through the season, are Michael Williams and Alfred Collins about where you thought they would be at this point?
Yeah, for sure. You know, they're rookies. You know, we in this building we've been spoiled with some rookies like Bosa, where he's probably more the exception, not the rule. The learning curve, especially for a guy like Michael, who we're asking to go outside, inside, or Alfred, who missed all of OTAs and training camp, they're trending exactly the way we've hoped, and I haven't wavered with my thought that these guys are going to be really good football players and they're going to be here for a while. Same with C.J. West.
Robert, are you just satisfied at all with Nick Martin? I mean, he's your guys' third-round pick. He's a rookie, but he's not getting on the field over guys like Gifford and Robinson. Is there some dissatisfaction with him, or is there something he's not doing?
No, there's no dissatisfaction. You know, he's there is a bit of a learning curve in terms of where he's come from college to what we're asking him to do, and I think he's done a really nice job. He's got to earn it on special teams, with D. Winters being the starter. Like, Giff is a big-time special teams guy. Curtis Robinson's a big-time special teams guy. Now you've got Tatum and you've got D, who are both starters. You know, so for him, he has had to make his way, and then obviously Fred was there before Fred's injury. It was hard. It's hard to justify if you're not the starter and you're not owning special teams. Those guys are always going to get for, not to speak for us, for Brent, but he's been one of our top role, and you got to make it work with. He had his first run on special teams. So D is an NFL starting linebacker, and so Nick is more of a victim of that than he is of what he's capable of.
Last one.
For the batch of rookies that were forced into some early playing time, how did you kind of help them along, maybe encourage them throughout this process as they're all kind of figuring out a lot of key mistakes and trying to learn from them?
You just got to do your best to teach. You know, you can get frustrated with some mistakes because you want them to be great or perfect all the time, but it never goes that way. But they have gotten better. You know, the cool thing about this group is it is very important to them. They are studying their butts off. They are seeking guidance from the other guys in the locker room, and And like I said, they're getting a heck of a lot better than, you look at a guy like Alfred from where he was to where he is now. Upton's gotten better. They're all taking strides, and I don't think they need so much encouragement. They just I've always felt like a coach's the number one. Coach needs to make these young men feel like they can walk on water, and it's our job to make sure we always put them in position and show ultimate faith, especially in a world of negativity. When these young men walk in this building, they've got to believe that we have faith in them, and we do, because we picked them, and we believe in all of them. So you just got to be patient. You got to work with them, and if they're made of the right stuff and they're going about it the right way every single day, then you trust that they'll figure it out.
They have each other. Like, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, no, it does. I think it for sure, because when there's, I guess so, but I think it helps more that you got veterans in this building, on the D line like Kalia Davis and Jordan, and you shoot even Samo. So you've got great veterans there. You got veterans in the linebacker room. You've got veterans in the DB room to help guide along all these kids.
Is this the same with your parenting style, Robert? Or do you like to scream at your kids?
So I'm more quiet, but my wife, whew, God bless her.
All right.
So who's playing quarterback in New Jersey on Sunday?
Brock's getting better. I know that. It's good. He's doing more this week. He's taking a few more reps, and we got to let the week play out and see how it goes. So.
It's I'm sure he's frustrated to some extent, but how does he kind of managing that? I'm sure he wants to be back out there. What's that been like?
Yeah, it's very frustrating for him. Him and I were talking yesterday. It's an injury that's frustrating because it has its unpredictable nature to it about when things are going to flare up and kind of how it's going to react to things. But he's been doing everything he can do. He's been patient, but it is frustrating for him. I know he wants to be out there. I know he's our quarterback, and he's our leader, and he wants to be out on the field with the guys. But he's doing what he needs to do. He's being patient, and he's getting better, and we're getting him back into practice. So.
How is he at putting that frustration kind of aside and being helpful for Matt?
Oh, he's great. It doesn't affect that at all. It's just like you would imagine. It's just personally, it's a frustrating situation. But he's a pro, and he's a leader, and he's helping our guys however he can.
How do you go about, obviously he can't do all of the physical stuff, but how do you go about just making sure that when he does step on the field, he's improved since the last time, just from everything from the non-physical standpoint?
Yeah, I think that's the goal. It's just to have complete confidence that you're going out there and feeling your best. And if you do feel something that it's just something that you have to kind of deal with. I think that's the goal. Where we don't feel like he's going to have any restrictions.
How do you get keep him sharp mentally,
Yeah.
and going through, knowing the offense and everything?
Yeah. I think he's going to stay in it. He's been staying in it the whole time. He hasn't missed anything from a mental perspective. I think you just need reps again. You need that repetition of getting in the huddle, hearing a call, kind of going through everything you do before the snap, going through progressions. You got to go back out there and practice, which he's been doing. He did that a little more yesterday. And so, as far as the mental stuff, I think it just comes with getting the reps again and just getting in that comfort level that you miss when you're just not in there. So.
Jordan Watkins on the field for the first time, and he drops the first one that comes to him, and then he makes a little catch later. When you miss as much time as he has, you have to remind him, like, hey, you still almost have a whole college season left. There's plenty of your time left. Do you still feel pretty good about his development?
Yeah, I feel good about it. He got some action on Sunday. I think he would probably tell you he's got to make that play. That was a big third down, but it's a long way to go, and it's a struggle for all rookies of just kind of being in it for the long haul. And he's up for it. He's been practicing really well. We've been happy with his work, and so I'm not worried about his mindset from that perspective.
What have you seen from Juwan Jennings? Yesterday, Kyle mentioned he's been compromised a little bit so far.
He's been battling injuries all year. From training camp, and Juwan's been pushing through it, and he's been doing it for the team, and he's been going out there and working through stuff. He is getting better every week, and you can see him starting to heal up, and with the ankle, the ribs. I think he's hopefully getting past that. And so, it's taken time for him to get to be feeling good, which is kind of weird. You're playing football and trying to get healthy at the same time, which doesn't always go hand in hand. But he is getting better. He's healing, and I think every week we kind of see him get back to the form we want him to be in.
In the scouting evaluation process, what did you think of Dart?
Oh, loved him. Yeah, he was a heck of a player and just a gamer. And you saw a guy who competed and who won a lot of games, and he just, just a playmaker at the position. And aside from the natural talent, you just loved how he competed and made plays. So not surprised at all that he's doing well. He's a heck of a player.
Obviously this game against Houston is not what you want, and you seem pretty calm with us here, but what is your personality like on game day? I mean, and have you had a half in your career that went like that? You seem pretty calm, but I mean, are you and Kyle swearing at each other on the headsets?
Yeah.
I mean, what is that vibe like in the first half?
It's tough, man. It's frustrating for everybody. Not just me, not just Kyle, but the players. I mean, you're battling through a tough game where you can't stay on the field with third downs, and their offense goes on a long drive and you're on the sideline for a long time, and you're just not doing the things you want to do. You try to stay calm, and I think that's, for me personally, that's how I work through things, is to stay calm and try to figure out solutions, and okay, what are we going to do? How are we going to get through this? That's my mindset with everything. But yeah, I'd be lying if I said you're not dying on the inside a little bit when you're going through that, but you got to work through it, and you got to battle, and you got to find ways to help your players. And it was cool to see our guys do that at the end of this first half. They made those plays to kind of get us back in the game and to get a spark, but we just didn't sustain it. So, yeah.
You saw a good defensive front last week. What do you make of the one that you're seeing this week?
Another really, really good front. I mean, they have first-round picks at every position on the defensive line, elite rushers, an elite player on the inside, and Dexter Lawrence, and just super, super talented, and just another huge challenge. So, yeah.
When you come out of that game against the Texans, what do you stress? What do you emphasize to the players when you get them back together, start getting ready for the Giants?
It wasn't just one thing. You could point in any direction, but when you look at it, to me, it came down. We didn't stay on the field. We weren't able to help our defense by converting a third down in that first half, and which would have allowed us to run the ball more. We didn't run the ball enough, but we weren't on the field enough. So it started with the first half, and then the third quarter, we come out and we go 3 and out. I think we had 2nd and 3, and we had a 0-yard run, and then we get sacked. And so it was like we didn't do enough to stay on the field in different areas. Should we have run the ball better? Yeah, but we needed to be better on third down. And that's what it came down to, And so at the end of the day, you got to convert third downs. You got to give yourself chances to make more plays, and we just didn't do it.
Was the protection plan sound? I mean, you had Hennessy pulling to block a star defensive end. Did you chip much on Anderson against McKivitz? When you watch that film again, did you feel like you could have done more to help Colton maybe a little bit?
I think in hindsight, you always wish you could have done more. I mean, we did chip some, you mentioned Hennessy pulling. I mean, that's a protection we use a lot. We didn't execute it very well, to be honest with you, with some of our technique. But, you mix it up, you mix in the chips. You can't do it all the time because, when George Kittle's chipping, he's not on a route. And so you try to mix those things up, and it wasn't good enough in all areas. So, yeah, the plan wasn't good enough. The execution wasn't good enough, and we got to be better moving forward. So,
I always mentioned Ricky's recovery is taking longer than you would have hoped.
Mm-hmm.
How is Ricky dealing with the day-to-day? I'm sure that's somewhat frustrating.
Yeah, I talked to Ricky yesterday. He's doing good. His mind's in the right place, but he's frustrated. I think kind of like Brock, he expected things to go quicker, but you don't really know. But Ricky's locked into his rehab. He's doing everything he can do to push himself to get ready to go. But like you'd imagine, it's hard for those guys, but he's handling it the right way, and he'll be ready when he's fully healed. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, you heard from both Robert Saleh and Klint Kubiak. There's those words from both for Purdy getting better, and for Ricky Pearsall trying to trying to rehab that knee. Those PCL injuries take forever to heal, so they got to take it day by day, week by week. Hopefully, we see Pearsall and Purdy return real soon. So, coming up, we're going to continue on Niners Radio 49, and on this segment, it's going to be Mac Jones speaking at the podium, and he'll be speaking at the podium, and He spoke a little while ago. Hope you enjoyed this next segment on Niners Radio 49, which begins right now.
When you look at the Giants defense, what kind of stands out to you about what they do?
Yeah, they're really good. I think the front's obviously a really good front. They got a lot of guys up there and play a lot of different coverages, so definitely going to be a challenge. And yeah, we got to be ready to go.
Feel a sense of urgency in practice this week. Kyle Shanahan talked about how he wanted everybody to come in with a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, I heard about that. I think that's important. I think everybody has their own chip on their shoulder for different reasons, but as a team for sure. And we got to be ready to practice today. Obviously, we're doing media before practice, so we still have one practice today and one practice tomorrow, and then Saturday. So take it one day at a time. But yesterday was good, and just got to do that again today.
Does it feel like you guys have a 5-3 record, or does it feel like a losing record? I mean, you kind of try to gauge.
Nice. No, I know what you're saying.
But I do want to know. Like,
Yeah.
When it comes to the 5-3, like you guys are winning this season
Yeah.
well, but then it kind of seems as if.
Yeah, for sure. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I learned that maybe the hard way just early on in my career. I would be frustrated if we didn't win by like a lot of points or whatever. And I realized that winning in the NFL is so hard, and it's not like college when you're going to win by like 40, 50 points or whatever. And every game typically comes down to the last quarter or a couple drives. So we've been in that position like I talked about earlier. And that's my goal as a quarterback, is be ready in those moments, because quarters 1 through 3 are obviously important, but really the fourth quarter is where it's all won. So that's the NFL. I've learned that. I've watched it, studied it. So I'm really just glad where we're at, but also you can't be complacent at all. This is a big week for us. It's one of those, you look at your record, you win and you're in a good spot, and you lose and you're not in a good of a spot. So we know that. You're trying to win every week. So definitely feel like we can do it, and I guess got to go out there and execute.
You overlapped with Coach Dable at Alabama.
Yeah.
Your first year. What was he like as a coach?
Oh, he was awesome.
What did you learn from him just in that first year there?
Yeah, he was the best. I think we spent a lot of time together. Just I was third string and freshman, and he was installing a new offense, so I didn't really know much. So he was trying to see if I could learn the offense that he wanted to install, and he did just such a good job of like innovating for the player that was in. So like when Jalen played, he had quarterback runs and things like that, and then when Tua played, he had a lot of RPOs and over the middle passing. So I learned as a young player like how good he was at like building his plan for the offense at the time, and learned a lot about coverages and footwork and all that stuff. So we obviously still talk and stuff, and he's a great coach, and got a lot of respect for him.
You overlapped with Keon in New England, I believe.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about him? And what kind of player he is? What kind of guy he is?
Yeah, he's quiet, but he's the man. Like when you talk to him and get to know him, just a really down to earth guy. And I remember when he was coming out from Georgia Tech, I'm friends with Coach Key, the head coach there, and he was like, "You guys got a great player," and he's really quiet, so like just try and get him used to the guys and stuff. And he did that, and I think he's just a great player that maybe the scheme didn't fit him or whatever that may be. And I know he's excited for a fresh start, and I think he's going to be really good in this system. He's a strong guy, and I'm just looking forward to watching him grow. I'm sure right now he's just trying to learn everybody's names and learn where to walk and stuff, so definitely figuring it out. But he's a great dude.
Slow start. Jordan Watkins on the field for the first time, and
Yeah.
then he drops the first one. And then do you go to him right away and talk him up?
Yeah, I think people always look at that. It's like first game, whatever. Like it doesn't really matter to me. He's done a good job in practice. As a rookie, I remember my first game too. Like you're gonna have your jitters, and you might not be exactly where you want to be. And he's trying to play catch up a little bit, but he has all the skills, and he's lining up right now in practice and doing the right stuff. So that's all I care about. And I told him like it's your first one, right? So don't worry about your first game in general, whether it was really good or really bad. Like just keep working, and you'll get more comfortable. And I really like his speed and what he did in college, and some of those things are showing up in practice. So I'm definitely really excited about him.
The team had a slow start in Houston, not to make excuses, but it was a 10 a.m. body start game. Got another one coming up this week. What do those feel like from the perspective of a West Coast team, and how do you start faster?
Yeah, it's obviously my first experience this year doing that, and just talking to people. And we have different things that we use, and I feel like really you just got to get the right amount of sleep for your time slot, and get up and get ready to play. It's not like you can't overthink it or underthink it, but at the end of the day, you get your 9, 10, 11 hours of sleep, and then obviously you travel early, and I try not to get adjusted to the time. I just stay on my own clock here. But yeah, it's a challenge, and I think every team has to deal with it, whether you're going east to west or west to east. So definitely want to be ready to play.
Hours of sleep before he's
Sometimes, yeah. Usually I sleep a lot. It's just hard when you're traveling, but if I can, I definitely put my head on that pillow and try and get 9 or 10 or 11.
When they were back there about 5 years ago, there were a lot of injuries. You
Okay.
played on it. Do you have concerns about it and just memories of Giant State, of playing at MetLife?
Yeah, I played against both teams there, but I don't know. I don't really think about it. I think it's turf, and the field's 100 yards long and 53 and a third wide, so I don't really think about it like that, but definitely every playing surface is different, and I learned early in my career you want to get out there early and test your cleats and figure out, do you want to wear this pair or that pair based on the surface. So that's all you can do, and I mean, I played on it multiple times and didn't have any issues, so I think it's a cool stadium, and they got a good fan base.
You were listed on the injury report yesterday with double knee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Bilateral. Sick.
Juwan might have you beat. I mean, he's listed for most of the year with 3 different injuries.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Obviously, as you've gotten to know Juwan,
Yeah.
you know, his ability to play through, you know, some significant stuff.
Yeah.
I see a lot of guys are doing similar stuff like that.
For sure.
You know, what does he show you?
Oh, he's really tough. I really like Juwan. I think obviously we're working through some things right now in terms of just trying to get him started in the games, and but he comes out and works every day, and he doesn't complain. Like we were talking about some of the plays in the game that, you know, maybe I missed him or he didn't catch it or whatever, but it doesn't matter. Like we're on the same page. He's running fast. I'm trying to get him the ball, and we're working together during practice. So he's done a great job rehabbing his injuries, and I think he's definitely getting better, like all of us are each week. And I just really love the way he works, and I think a lot of people look up to him in a way, like he's played a lot of football, and for him to be out there, you know, even when he doesn't have to be out there, maybe it shows a lot about his character. So I'm looking forward to just getting that chemistry going, and you know, we haven't had a lot of reps together, to be honest, either. So just working on that, and I'm really excited for him. I know what he can do. Cool. Thank you.
All right, that was Mac Jones. His thoughts. The Niners getting ready to take on the New York Giants for a rivalry renewed. When we come back, we'll have our Niners Radio 49 flashback. We're going to go back. We'll have a couple of stints, and we'll get you ready for the 49ers and Giants. We'll go back a couple stints of Niners and Giants galore. A rivalry renewed, coast to coast. The Golden Gate Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge, 2 bridges, continent, coast to coast, intertwined this Sunday. I'm Brian Professor B. Davis. We're going to take this quick time out. You're watching 49ers Live on Niners Radio 49. Welcome back to 49ers Live on Niners Radio 49. Professor B. We're going on a little bit early tonight this afternoon because of we're going to have a special on our sister network on Satellite Digital Media. We're going to have a special edition of the replay of the Giants hiring Tony Vitello, the new San Francisco Giants manager. We're going to have that immediately following the Miami Dolphins taking on the Baltimore Ravens from South Florida later this evening. So it's going to be a very special treat. Hope you guys enjoy it. So that will be on later tonight after Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. We'll have that special on our network. So now we're going to go in our Niners Radio 49 flashback. We're going to go back to back. First, of course, the 49ers and New York Giants have had some classic games during the era. We'll go back to the year 1981. This was a regular season game. Week 13, the Niners taking on the New York Giants at Candlestick Park. The Niners coming into that game 10-3 they were 9-3 going in this game. The Giants coming into this game at 6-6, and the Niners a win for the Niners will give them the NFC West title. Niners are looking to win their first division title since 1972. And we're going to get ready to show you that highlight in a few. You're going to really like it. So it's Niners and Giants from Week 13, November 29th, 1981 at Candlestick Park. This was the conclusion of the wraparound weekend of Thanksgiving weekend. So there was so much to be thankful for the 49er faithful out at Candlestick Park. And the Niners, who for so many years are coming off after years of just some bad football in the recent 2-14 season in Bill Walsh's first season in 1979. They did improve in 1980 to 6-10. In fact, they beat the Giants 12-0 in 1980 to snap their 8-game losing streak. But this game was for the NFC West title. We're going to show you in our Niners Radio flashback 49ers and the New York Giants from November 29th, 1981. We're about to show you that footage in just a moment, which begins right now.
San Francisco 49ers playing to win their first NFC Western Division championship since 1972. Joe Montana's quarterback draw was about the only offense San Francisco could muster against the strong Giants defense. In a game that did not produce much offense, New York crossed the goal line only once on this Rob Carpenter touchdown. For the 49ers, defense was the key, as it has been for them in recent weeks. Archie Reese, number 78, helped shut down the Giants' running game, forcing inexperienced quarterback Scott Brunner to throw more than he wanted to. The result was 3 49er interceptions, the biggest by Dwight Hicks, number 22, his 9th of the season. Hicks's interception set up San Francisco's other touchdown, a run by Johnny Davis, as the 49ers clinched their first division title in 9 seasons with a 17-10 victory. It was no time to quietly applaud in a dignified manner. The 49ers were champions. Their fans had not been able to say that for a long time.
So, and that was a big one, big deal in 1981, late November of 81. The Niners beating the New York Giants 17-10 at Candlestick Park. This was, of course, by the way, two future Hall of Fame rookie campaigns, both Ronnie Lott and Lawrence Taylor. Both were rookies coming in there in that great defensive draft class of 1981. Let's just give you the final numbers in that game. Joe Montana, 27-39, 234 yards. Paul Hofer was the leader in Niners in yards rushing, 8 carries, 33 yards. Johnny Davis, 11 carries for 21 yards. Ricky Patton, 7 carries for 20 yards, averaging 2.8 yards. Earl Cooper, 3 carries for 12 yards. And Bill Ring, 4 carries for 9 yards. So that was a defensive struggle that afternoon. Niners went on to win at 17-10. With the win, the Niners ended up winning the NFC West for the first time since 1972. They improved their record to 10-3, while the Giants dropped to 6-7. And that was a tough one because they know they would have to pretty much win out and get some help if they're going to make the playoffs. Well, they would, and we're going to take this another time out, and when we come back, we'll take this quick 30-second timeout, and then we'll show you the rematch from the NFC Divisional Playoff from January 3rd, 1982. You're watching 49ers Live on Niners Radio 49. So without further ado, we're going to show you our next classic, Niners and New York Giants from the NFC Divisional Playoff from January 3rd, 1982. And this segment begins right now.
Against the New York Giants in their first playoff game in 9 years, number 32 Ricky Patton scored one of 2 rushing touchdowns in a well-balanced attack that was paced by Joe Montana's finest day as a pro. Montana completed 21 of 30 passes for 304 yards and 2 scores. The first, a 58-yard bomb to Freddie Saleh. A 38-24 victory left fans feeling cocky about the NFC Championship game.
All right, so that was another highlight from that classic 1980, January 3rd, 1982. The 49ers win the rematch against the New York Giants a little more of a month plus earlier, and this time they end up winning it 38-24. Here are the final numbers of this game. Joe Montana was 20 out of 31, 304 yards. He ended up throwing for 2 touchdown passes. Freddie Solomon, 6 carries for 107 yards. He averaged 17.8 yards per catch. He had a big 58-yard touchdown reception from Montana. Dwight Clark, 5 catches for 104 yards, and he as well. So the Niners in that divisional playoff rematch, they end up beating the Giants 38-24. They would now advance to the NFC Championship game a week later to take on the Dallas Cowboys, and we all know what happened in that game a week later. And then, of course, they would go on to win the franchise's first ever Super Bowl against the Cincinnati Bengals in the Silverdome in Pontiac, Michigan. When we come back, we'll have our final segment, and will be Kendrick Bourne. Kendrick Bourne on confidence, staying true to himself. This is a little bit of a segment right here, and hope you enjoy the segment. Professor B, we're going to actually wrap it up. We'll conclude it with that segment with Kendrick Bourne, and then we'll have a final word. Professor B, you're watching 49ers Live on Niners Radio 49.
Been a team barber for the last 7 years, and sitting in this chair is not about just the haircut. It's about the confidence, the culture, and the connection. What's up, KB?
What's up, bro?
How's everything, man? Welcome back.
Man, I'm well, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. How you been?
Good, man. Blessed.
What's up, man?
For sure.
Sure, man. Trying to get it right.
I got you.
Trying to get these waves spinning, man.
I think the fans know all the energy that you bring.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, where does that come from? Like, is that something that has shaped you today?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, is that something deeper that you can kind of elaborate on?
Yeah, a lot of my energy come from my family, really. Mom Duke, she got a lot of energy. She's real.
Yeah.
You know, energetic, smiling a lot. And she blessed me with a good energy, good attitude, things like that. You know, having the right perspective about everything. And, a lot of good things come my way with that mindset. So it's been good, man. It's been good being back, feeling the energy of the fans and them welcoming me back so quickly. These last few games been dope, man. my energy.
So when you think about growth, in that process, do you think you have to leave some old habits behind and kind of just like understanding that?
I think just giving up my old lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? Different decisions, you know, having a family now, having a wife has just been, it's been dope, man. So it's just giving me a different perspective of life. So just everything that comes with that life has changed me into a different person. And it's been dope, you know what I'm saying? To gain something, you got to give up something. So it's kind of the things that I've done, and the growth has been exponential. So being an adult now and like where I'm at now, I've changed a lot, I've grown a lot, and I understand that it's about me. It's not about anybody else. It's not about what anybody thinks. It's about my growth and where I'm headed. So being true to myself and like who I am, the energy, how I am emotionally, in my relationships and everything, you know, being myself, not trying to go away from who I am for somebody else is what I've learned. So if I gotta kind of get away from somebody or isolate to kind of guard my heart or guard who I am, I think I've learned a lot in that. You know, I used to try to impress people and stand out for other people, dress a certain way to impress other people and things like that. And you know, that's not being my true self. So now, you know, wearing my own clothing brand, things like that, trying to create, being creative. It's just crazy, man, the journey, what it creates and what you learn. And you try to get out of patterns that were not so healthy for you. So that's kind of where I've taken it, man, and where I'm at now. So it's been lit, bro. It's been lit.
So as far as confidence, I know you got a lot of it. Is there one thing that you do on a daily that gets you locked in for game day or any day?
Yeah. Getting clean, getting fresh. I like to use Gillette Lab skincare. I get my skin right, make me look good, man, feel good. Play good, feel good, look good. It all plays a part, man. So
hell
keep my confidence up.
How do you describe your personal style, KB?
My personal style, man. I don't know, bro. Like, I think clothes, just being myself, car you drive, how you live, just how you carry yourself. I would just say being unique, you know what I'm saying? Trying to personalize myself. Talked about my clothing brand a little bit, you know, wearing my own stuff. Being creative has been dope for me, but just being unique, you know what I'm saying? Trying to stand out in ways that I know, like I am, you know what I'm saying? Like I love dancing, I love
we know
being
that,
goofy,
bro.
exactly.
We
Being
know
silly,
that,
you know what I'm saying? Like breaking the ice, not trying too hard, man. You know what I'm saying? Just letting life flow. So I think that's kind of how I would, you know, think of myself. It's just unique, kind of my own character. So being like that, not trying to be anybody else, you know, having inspiration, being inspired by other people, but being myself and enjoying the things that I enjoy. So I think that makes life flow. I think that just how everybody should live, really. You know what I'm saying? It's,
I mean,
social media in the world, you know how it is, bro. It's
I feel you.
Everybody trying to be everybody else. So being myself has been real joy for me. You know what I'm saying? And like, you'll really win being yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're never gonna win trying to be somebody else. So
100%.
that's a Born Blessed quote right there. You know what I'm saying, man? Don't steal that.
So I think you mentioned a lot about your faith, obviously with your clothing brand. Like, how has that shaped you, like, to the man you are today?
Yeah. Faith, man, is everything. A lot of the decisions I make is based off my faith. You know what I'm saying? What would God want me to do? How He wants me to think? How He wants me to live, move, interact, react, everything.
What does it mean to be cut different?
To be cut different, man. I think it's being yourself, man. Honestly, like living in truth is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like not being fake, not trying to do something because it's trendy or doing whatever, wearing a certain brand because it's trendy or whatever. I think it's being you and standing out, and that's what I think success comes from. I think about my journey here and being undrafted and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I stood out. I stood out with my energy. I stood out with my smile. I stood out with how I went about my day, stood out by dancing, enjoying. And I think that's the difference between my success and failure. You know what I'm saying? Even when I'm going through failure, I'm still happy. I'm still smiling because I know this is going to help me. So staying true to myself, I think is being cut different.
All right, man. I know you cut different, but what do you think about the cut?
Oh yeah, I'm icy. I'm spinning. A little something there. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you,
Jordan,
man.
bro. Thank you, man.
Hell yeah.
Now I'm ready for game day, y'all. What's up, y'all? This is Kendrick Bourne. This is Cut Different, presented by Gillette.
All right, that was a great segment from Kendrick Bourne, and that was for the team barber for the 49ers. So this was a great segment, and we want to thank our good friends from 49ers.com via 49ers Studio for that segment. And that was a great segment. So for now, that's going to wrap it up for us. We're now timed at 4:42. We're now about 18 minutes before the top of the hour of 5 o'clock. The game will still between the Miami Dolphins and Baltimore Ravens will be starting a little more than 25 minutes from now. We will have we'll have another edition of 49ers Live tomorrow. Tonight we'll have a special edition of satellite from our flagship network, Satellite Digital Media, with the Tony Vitello news conference. We'll play on Satellite Digital Media. Giants name him as manager. We'll play that full press conference in its entirety. That's going to be a special tonight. 49ers Live. That's why we're coming on early today. So hope you enjoy that. Hope you watch. We'll have that on immediately following Thursday night football between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins on our flagship network, Satellite Digital Media. As for this for tomorrow, we'll be right back tomorrow for 49ers Live. Halloween, of course. We'll have later on, we'll have Kyle Shanahan's final presser, or we may have it tomorrow. If not, at worst, we'll have a replay of it Saturday morning. Depends. We'll see. And then we'll have another Niners Radio 49 flashback as well. So it's gonna be a good one tomorrow. And then just a reminder, Saturday night we are gonna switch our clocks backwards. We go 1 hour backwards Saturday night, 1 hour backward, get that extra hour of sleep. So I'd like to thank you all for being on the podcast today. Hope you enjoyed it. You can always catch the replay on YouTube.com/@NinersRadio49. Please click the subscribe button. We'll continue to build this thing. Niners and Giants Sunday, 10 a.m. We will have our post game immediately following the game. 49ers Live post game, and then we're back out at 12 days from now. Niners in the Rams showdown for first place in NFC West. We'll be back, have another edition of 49ers Tailgate as well. That's it for now. Professor B signing off, and so long. Thank you for watching 49ers Live on Niners Radio 49. 49ers Live is an exclusive presentation of 49ers or Niners Radio 49, where every team is a fan. Fans a voice, the network home of champions. We'd like to wish all of you a very pleasant, enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and a very pleasant good evening. And take care, everybody. 49ers football, faithful to the Bay.